Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you've seen some of my earlier videos, you'd know that I absolutely love these KTM motorcycles. We recently picked up this project. It was at a dealer's place in Bombay, got it over to Hyderabad, and started working on it. It weighs about 190 kilograms wet, which is not too bad. You don't feel the weight because it's extremely well balanced. Now, there will be random pictures popping up, which I will walk you through as we progress through the video. And this build happened mainly due to some fantastic friends like Salman, who is mechanic based out of Hyderabad, a good friend of mine. He built this bike end to end. And then there's Shivaji from Hyderabad again, a riding mate of mine. He carried a whole bunch of parts from the US. And then there were others who helped tune it, source parts, so on and so forth. So it's immense gratitude to all these guys who made this happen. A KTM V twin is a thing of beauty. It makes all these sort of beautiful noises, tremendous low end torque. Um, I mean, we had to have it, we had to build it. There were challenges along the way, which you will see as we progress through the video. But so far, so good. I can even go out on a limb and tell you that this bike is way, way superior to some of the modern motorcycles that KTM makes. I would say this is a bike that was made at their peak. You can make out by the machining on each part, by the clarity of work, by the high end components used. Brembo's front and rear, adjustable suspension front and rear. It has a die sump. The camshafts are nice and thick. The machining is second to none. So absolutely brilliant bike. I think it lasts well over 1 lakh kilometers if well taken care of. Now, this is not a very well put together video. You will see a lot of random pictures popping up. I'll try to walk you through them as we go through. For example, this one is a failed starter clutch. It's called a one-way clutch. You can see the scoring on the center. And earlier that was the bearing. The radiator cap was a bottle cap. Absolutely filthy throttle bodies. You can't make out because they're covered. Here we have the bike completely opened up, progressing to see what else we could find. Yeah, the rear wheels off, tanks off, everything is off. Very common thing, especially from the sequest, seized nuts for the adjuster. I suggest you grease them even on a new bike. This exhaust is massive. It's more than 10 kgs or 12 kgs. Here we have a broken axle bolt. Please use a torque wrench while tightening axles. Here the levers were corroded. That's back from, oh, that's a filthy air filter. There was oil getting in from the breather. Messed up wiring which we had to clean up line by line. Yeah, let's wait for more to pop up. Here the magnet is off. That's where the starter clutch fits. Here we got the clutch off, water pump off. The water pump had failed. The clutch was not biting correctly. So we had to rebuild the water pump and also reset the clutch. This is the threads gone on the swing arm. Yeah, and if you look at the chassis, it's a thing of beauty, very, very slim and trim. Here we had a petrol leak that had to be patched up. Yeah, as I was saying, the chassis is very, very lean and trim. You can't make out that that's a 1000 cc V twin sitting in there. I don't know how they make their bike so compact, but excellent design. That's a brake caliper back from paint. We buffed out the Brembo too, painted the WP red. Looks pretty sick now. This is part of the assembly process. Forks are going on. So we gave it a good coat of paint, high quality paint, scraped it down. These are your foot peg hangers. Then you got your caliper holders, um, boot guards or ankle guards, whatever you'd like to call them. These are all our beautiful bolts back from zinc plating and chromium from the chrome shop. Guy did a phenomenal job. I think it's going to last for many, many years. And finding the right bolts for the right place was quite challenging. But yes, we had all of them installed in the right places. So yeah, very exciting build, and these bikes are relatively simple to work on if you follow the manual to the T. Yeah, that's another pick off. We had to clean all these threads out, of course. Here you could probably make out a completely rebuilt wiring loom. Every single wire was stripped. Then we did a silicone coat and put them back together. Here you see slightly corroded spark plugs. Had those changed. These are the engine cases back from the paint shop. If you notice, the LC8 is buffed. We had to use this cable to remap the ECU. Yeah, it does sound like I'm rambling on, but I think you get the drift. This is a sort of complete frame up rebuild. Um, so, in fact, the engine was in pretty good shape. Luckily, the compression was 100% spot on. The oil pressure was great. All we had to do was a brand new fuel pump to get it running mechanically. Water pump had to be rebuilt. Then we had to button up some wiring that had taken a beating slightly earlier. Cosmetically, we had to paint quite a few components, buff quite a few components. Then there was zinking done, a few bits thrown on like a K&N Airfilter, all new fluids, and then mirrors, grips, so on and so forth. And of course, you know, we had to reset the ECU, and that is the result. It's a phenomenal looking motorcycle, absolutely beautiful. I took it out on the test ride. It reaches 120 kilometers an hour in no time, probably in first gear. Second gear is around 140, and by the time you're at 200, 220, the wind blast is just so heavy that it's difficult to hold on to the bike. But videos suggest that it does around 250 kilometers an hour. It sounds phenomenal, runs phenomenal, the braking is great, the handling is nimble. Uh, I think over the last 20 years, motorcycle building hasn't progressed much. And that is the end result. Every bolt, every wire buttoned up, every failed component changed. We took a couple of months to build this bike. It's back on road, and hopefully we'll enjoy it for many years to come. I don't like the headlight too much. It looks a little, that's designed by Kiska. The entire bike is designed by Kiska Design. Maybe they've always been a little crazy with the headlights. Even the current bike looks pretty crazy. Without further ado, let's move on to a startup video. I'm sure you'll love that V-twin as much as I do. Bye bye.